Hi, in this video we're going to be looking at best buys. So this is aimed at around about GCSE, grade 4, something like that, and it's usually comparing different quantities of, say, coffee for a different price in a supermarket. They are fairly straightforward questions, actually quite popular, and they do appear on a lot of non-calculator type questions because they look at also the key skills of calculation as well. So it's very important to always show you're working on these types of questions. Okay, hoping they're useful to you. Please do add a comment below if you're not sure about anything, and I'll look forward to seeing you inside the video. Hi, in this video we're looking at best buys, which is very typical kind of supermarket where you're comparing the price of two separate packs of, in this particular case, tea bags. These are top tea bags and they're available at the supermarket in a Superpack or a Megapack, which pack represents the best value for money. So please do stop the video, have a go at the question, compare your solutions. Basically, we've got a situation here where we've got 180 tea bags for £5. Well, I'm just going to change that. I'm actually going to make that 500 pence, and this one is going to be 600 pence, because when I work this out at the price per tea bag, what I'm actually going to end up probably is a pence per tea bag. So if I change it straight away, it just makes my life a little bit easier. So let's compare the two. So I've got Superpack. Okay, and that's going to be 500 pence, and for that I'm going to get 180 tea bags. So basically I'm going to divide one by the other. Now you might be tempted at this point to go ahead and do some sort of very long division, but I would try to encourage you to try to make your working a little bit easier by using equivalent fractions, because if I divide top and bottom by 10, it means that becomes 50 over 18, which is a little bit easier to calculate. Or actually, if I go one step further and divide top and bottom by 2, I get 25 over 9, which is way easier to calculate, and I can do that using short division. Now, bearing in mind this would likely be a non-calculator question, as they all are actually within this particular video. Okay, so let's have a look at how we do that. We say 9 into 25. Okay, now I know I'm going to get a fraction of a penny because 9 doesn't go into 25 exactly. It actually goes 2, and then I've got a bit of a remainder. So 2 9s are 18, and then I've got 7 left over. So 9 into 70 is going to be 7 is 63, and 7 left over. So actually I've got 2p each, and then a bit of a fraction. So each tea bag in the Superpack is going to be 2.77 pence each. Okay, and actually that's recurring. It's 2.7 recurring, so that goes on forever. Okay, so we know that the Superpack tea bag is going to be that price. So let's have a look now at the Megapack. So Megapack, I'm actually going to use the same calculation, or a very similar one. This time I'm going to say it's actually 600 divided by 200. Well, that's a lot easier. If I divide top and bottom by 100, what I actually get is 6 over 2. And then how many 2's are there in 6? Well, there's actually 3. So it works out that the Megapack is going to be 3p each. Okay, so if I want to know which pack represents the best value for money, well, it's actually going to be Superpack. Okay, and that would be the answer to that particular question. So starts off a little bit tricky with this short division, but actually the second one is not too bad. Let's hope that that works out okay for Big Flavour Coffee, which okay, which comes out with on question number 2, where I get 200 grams for £4.99 and 300 grams for £5.99. So again, I'm going to actually do the same exercise because, or rather I'm going to do it a slightly different way, because in this particular case, I've got 200 grams for that and 300 grams for that. So I could, if I wanted to, divide each of them by, well, 200, divide that by 200 and get the price per gram, or divide that by 300 and get the price per gram. That would be actually quite tricky, I think, because the numbers themselves are quite difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look at initially the 200 gram jars, but in this particular case now I've decided that I'm going to buy 600 grams. Now the reason if I do that, if I buy 600 grams, I'm actually going to buy 3 jars. Okay, so it's much easier for me to say, well, I'm going to multiply 499 or £4.99 times 3 because I need 3 jars. It's much easier for me to do that calculation. And I actually get 1497. So it means if I go to my supermarket and I buy 3 200 gram jars, I'm going to spend £14.97. Okay, hopefully you're all right with what I've done there. I've just moved the decimal. This is pence, and I've moved the decimal point back again to 14.97. Okay, so if I want to buy 600 grams of the larger jar, so the 300 gram jars, okay, I'm going to need to multiply my 600 grams. I'll multiply these by 2. So I'm actually going to buy 2 jars. Okay, so that's going to be £5.99 multiplied by 2, which again is a relatively easy calculation, and you should get 1198. So in other words, if I buy 2 300 gram jars, I'm going to spend £11.98 in the supermarket. Okay, so therefore the jar that represents the best value for money is going to be the 300 gram jar. Okay, hopefully that's all right for you. It's just a bit of a trick. Sometimes that's the easiest way of doing these. So I've demonstrated really 2 sort of distinct methods here. The first one would be to say, well, I've got a common number there. Okay, it's a number that I can buy a quantity of, and therefore I can work this out relatively easily. Or in this particular case, I worked out the price per tea bag. So let's see what the question number 3 holds. So question number 3 is about eggs. Okay, and this one is relatively straightforward because basically, hopefully you can see then that I've got a pack of 6 and a pack of 18. Well, actually, if I just buy 3 of these packs of 6, I'm going to get a pack of 18. Okay, so it's actually relatively straightforward with this one, that if I choose, I'm going to compare them by buying 18 eggs. Okay, so if I choose to buy a pack of 6, so a pack of 6, I'm going to buy 3 of them. Okay, so basically my calculation is going to be 109, which is, again, I tend to prefer to do this multiplication using pencil without the decimal points. It's much, much easier. You've got to be very careful with decimal points and multiplication. But when I do that, I'm going to get 327. So if I buy 3 packs of 6, it's going to cost me £3.27, and that's for 3 packs of 6 eggs. Okay, however, if I buy the whole pack of 18 eggs, it's only going to cost me £2.70. Okay, so £2.70 for a pack of 18 is better value. Okay, and it is useful, I think, always when you're doing these sorts of questions to make a statement. If they're asking you to, compare these 2 things, then, go ahead and make a statement. Make it much, much easier for the examiner to award the marks to you. Okay, so please do stop the video, have a go at the next question as well. Compare your solution at the end, because hopefully by now you're getting the idea that actually, provided we can find a kind of a common quantity, in this case we're looking at onions from a farm shop or the same onions from a supermarket, it's much easier to find a similar quantity. In this particular case, I've got £8 for a 7.5 kilogram bag, or I've got £2.50 for a 2.5 kilogram bag. Well, if I multiply 2.5 by 3, then I'm going to get 7.5. So actually my calculation is, again, relatively straightforward with this type of question. So I've got the farm shop. Okay, and I'm just going to write it down because I think it's just easier. So at the farm shop, I'm going to spend £8 for £7.50 or 7.5 kilograms. Okay, sorry about my wobbly 5 there. Okay, all right. In the supermarket, let's have a look. Well, in the supermarket, for me to achieve 7.5 grams, I need to buy 3 bags of 2.5 grams. Okay, so I'm going to do 250 multiplied by 3, and if I multiply that out, I'm going to get 750, which is exactly the same as saying £7.50. Okay, so therefore it's just marginally less expensive to go to the supermarket, but obviously you've paid for petrol and parking and everything else to actually get there. Okay, as you might have done for the farm shop as well. Okay, so again, it's worthwhile making a quick or taking a few seconds just to write a quick statement. Just make it easier. Make sure always you show you're working, okay, and you make it much easier for the examiner to award the marks to you. Okay, we're about 10 minutes into the video. We might as well finish this set of questions. You please do go ahead and download the questions also from 3 Minute Maths, and the link is below in the description, and you can download these worksheets and have a go at them yourself. Okay, so we've now got Moosehead Shower Gel. Okay, I do have a lot of fun with making up these names sometimes. So Moosehead Shower Gel is available in 3 different containers. You can buy large, medium or small, and there's different prices for it. Which container offers the best value for money? Well, this is again a little bit a tricky one really. What you could do is you could work on the lowest common multiple for 800, 600 and 400, as we've been doing before with the farm shop and the eggs and all that sort of thing. However, it does actually lend itself to buying 100 millilitres of each item, because basically if this is 800 millilitres for £6.50, if I divide that by 8, I'm going to get the price for 100 millilitres. Similarly, if I divide that by 6, similarly if I divide that by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now again, I would say that these will be non-calculator type questions, so it is worthwhile being up to speed with how to do short division. Okay, so I'm looking at the large and I'm looking at 100 millilitres. So that's going to be 8. Okay, I'm going to do it in pence into 650. Okay, just much easier always to work in pence. All right, so what have I got there? Well, I got 8 into 6 dozen. 8 into 64 is 8. Okay, 8 8 is 65 rather, than I got 1 left over. 8 into 10 is going to be 1, okay, and I'm going to put a decimal point in. Now we're into now fractions of a penny, so basically it's going to cost 81 pence for 100 millilitres, but we might as well just carry on a little bit. I sense that it's going to give us actually a fairly clear answer. So 81.25, so it's actually 81.25 pence, okay, for the large version or the large container with 100 millilitres. Okay, so if I now compare that, I'm going to do the same one for medium. Okay, and medium is going to be 100 millilitres, but I'm going to do the same exercise. I'm going to say, in that case, 6 into 500. Okay, so let's have a look at how that would work for me. Well, 6 into 5 I can't. 6 into 50 is going to be 6 8 are 42. 6 8 are 48, and then I've got 2 left over. 6 into 20 is 3. Decimal point. Okay, and again, I'm into now fractions of a penny. Okay, and that gives me 83.33 pence. So at the moment, the large container seems to be winning out. Okay, so let's have a look now at the small container, and it doesn't always follow. I suspect in this particular one it is actually going to be the large container, but it doesn't always follow that the largest is always going to be the answer. Sometimes they might the questions might have special offers in them and all sorts of things, so you never know. Okay, so it's always worthwhile checking and making sure. Don't just assume that you are correct, although in this particular case I think you are. So 9 into 37 is going to be 4 into 37 is 9 times. That's going to give me 1 remainder. Hopefully you are all up to speed with doing short division. Okay, it's kind of one of those kind of core skills that you need, although on saying that, you could use a calculator, of course, to do these, but it's not usual on a calculator paper. Okay, so that would give me 93.75 pence, okay, for the small one. So in this particular case, the larger bottle is best value. So larger bottle is best value. Okay, right, final question, and we are 15 minutes into the video, so we might as well just finish off with the final question. Okay, so please do stop the video, have a go at this particular question, and then compare your solution. Okay, so let's have a look at this. In the supermarket sale, there are 2 different types of dishwasher tablets. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky, I think, because there's quite a bit going on here. So you need to maybe, or it would be a good idea to stop the video, have a go at the question. But let's have a look at pack A. Okay, so what we're saying in pack A is you get 180 tablets and 25% extra free at a total cost of £4, which is 400 pence. Okay, so the question is how many tablets are you going to get all together if you get 25% free? Okay, well, we're going to say that 10% of 180 equals 18. So that means 20% of 180 must equal 36. And it also means that 5% of 180 equals half of 18, which is 9. So therefore, 25% of 180 is going to equal 36, add 9, which is going to be 45. So you're actually going to get 45 tablets free. So in other words, for pack A, it's going to be 180 plus 45. So you're going to get 225 tablets for 400 pence. So what we need to do now is find out the price per tablet. Now, again, I would probably encourage you to think about using equivalent fractions. So it's 400 pence for 225 tablets. But if I divide top and bottom by 5, what I get is 80 over 45. And if I divide top and bottom by 5 again, I'm going to get 16 over 9, which is a way easier calculation to do than 400 over 225. So 16 over 9, again, I can do that using short division. It seems to be a real short division day today. I don't know why, but it's just the way it's worked out. So 9 into 16, well, that's going to be 1. I've got 7 left over. So 9 into 70 is going to be 7. 7 left over, 7 again. Okay, so it's going to be 1.7p recurring per tablet in pack A. Okay, so let's have a look then at pack B, and I'm really hoping that the calculation is just a little bit simpler, but let's have a look at pack B, what happens there. Well, we've got 180 tablets and 10% off the normal price of £4. Okay, so let's have a look at pack B. All right, so there we go. Okay, so 10% of 400 equals 40. we've got then 400 minus 40 is 360. Okay, so what we're actually saying is that rather than it being 400p, okay, it's not 400, it's equal to 360p for pack B. And for that, we're going to get 180 tablets. Okay, so let's have a look at how we can work that out. Well, I think hopefully you've guessed by now that actually, if you're going to calculate 360 divided by 180, it's kind of easier than just to look upon it as a reducing fraction. So if I reduce it through by 10, I'm going to get 36 over 18. And actually, hopefully you know that 18 goes into 36 twice, so that's 2 over 1. So actually it works out at 2p per tablet for pack B. Okay, so therefore, hopefully you can see that pack A is very marginally slightly better value. Pack A is better value, and that would be the answer to the question. Okay, I hope you found this video useful. Please do add a comment below if you're not sure about anything. Add a like, I'd really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you inside the next video.